Hello everybody, my name is Breda and I work as a part-time ESOL tutor with Louth and Meath ETB. I also work as a part-time ESOL coordinator with CD ETB. Today I would like to talk to you about some practical tools that worked for learners and tutors during our online ESOL classes during the COVID pandemic. But before I start, I would like to extend my gratitude to my colleagues in the CD-ETB and LMETB who passed on their knowledge to me. In my presentation today, I would firstly like to talk about the problems faced by learners and tutors. I would like to outline the three main tools that I used for all my online classes. And then I would just briefly like to discuss other useful tools and resources for ESOL, which can be used to add fun and variety to the classroom. So what were the problems faced by learners and tutors at the beginning of the pandemic? I'm sure many tutors felt like this. Problems such as limited resources, which were basically paper-based or in PDF form. We had limited or no access to photocopying or printing facilities, and we weren't familiar with the online platforms like Zoom or Teams. Some of the tools that I'm going to show you in this presentation helped me overcome some of these problems. So the three main tools which I'm going to talk about today are firstly WhatsApp Web, secondly Noteblock, and thirdly, PDF Candy. So what are the benefits of using WhatsApp Web? Well, first of all, you would set up your class group on WhatsApp. And then whether before class or during your online class, you can communicate with students, whether it's to help them getting connected with their Zoom link, or you can also send lessons on WhatsApp Web. So for example, this would be a lesson here I sent with some instructions and also an attached document which I wanted them to complete. This is particularly useful if you have problems with the internet or your students have internet problems. Then the students can send you a photo of their homework. And then you can actually download this onto your laptops, and you can use the annotation tools of Zoom even to correct the homework. It's also particularly useful to teach your higher levels to even use this themselves, so that if you send them any audios or documents or videos, they can actually download this onto their own laptops at home. It's also useful for sending links, whether to like quizzes here, which is one like a Kahoot and an Edpuzzle. And also you could send them links to videos, audios, etc. In general, it is also very useful for using during breakout rooms. You can use your snipping tool, for example, to take a photo of questions or photos that you want to them to discuss in the breakout rooms, and then they can actually just look at their WhatsApp Web when they're in the breakout room. In general, it is much easier to type than it is to text. Okay, so how do you use WhatsApp Web? Well, firstly, open WhatsApp Web on your laptop, and then open WhatsApp on your mobile phone. On your mobile phone, you will see these three dots on the right-hand side. Tap on them, and then select WhatsApp Web. Okay, so this should open on your mobile phone. So now point your phone to capture this QR code which is on your laptop, and your WhatsApp account should open on your computer or your laptop. The second tool that I'm going to talk about is Noteblock. I found this tool particularly useful when we didn't have access to photocopying or printing facilities. So it's a very easy app to use. You just download it onto your phone from Google Play, and then you can use it to maybe scan pages from books or to scan worksheets, and you can name these documents and save them as PDF files. So then you can share them to your own laptop, for example, via Bluetooth, or even if you wanted to share it directly to students, you can do that by sharing it to WhatsApp or sending it via email or sending it to Teams or OneDrive, etc. So how do you use this tool? Well, for example, you use this to take a photo of your page. You can also use this to crop and rotate the document. So if we just look at this picture here, you will notice on the right hand side there are two icons. This icon is like a torch, so if you press on this, it will flash and it will brighten up the page that you're scanning. And on the right hand side, you can press on this icon to adjust the resolution of the image. When you have your image, you will also notice that there are these green dots, and you can use your fingers to spread them out or to make them smaller to choose the area where you want to crop your document. The third tool that I would like to talk about is PDF Candy. I particularly found this tool very useful because a lot of our resources are in PDF formats. And when you're sending documents to students, you don't necessarily want to send an entire document. You may just want to send certain pages. So this document can be used for this, and it can be downloaded from Google. In order to use PDF Candy, you click on Split PDF. Then you choose the document, and the document will show up here. Then you click on By Page Ranges, and let's say, for example, you want to extract pages 3 to pages 5. You click Add Range, and then you click Split. So once you open the folder, you will see that the document is here, pages 3 to 5. Now I would briefly just like to talk about some apps and websites that I found particularly useful for ESOL classes. This app here, Say Hi, it provides both spoken and written translation. I found this particularly useful for general communication with students who have very limited English. I found it even particularly good just for sending messages on WhatsApp, and also if you have difficulty completing PLSS forms, etc. The Microsoft Word translator can also be used in the same way, except it's more for written translations. Kahoot, Quiz, these are really good if you want to add a fun element into the class. You can get pre-made quizzes, or you can create quizzes. You can do them during class live, or you can assign them also for homework. And you can also view reports and see how the students get on. Then Edpuzzle, you can create and use pre-made videos, which can be good to just do something different with grammar. And they will ask the students some questions which they will have to answer. Again, that can be done live or assigned for homework. The next one then, Google Images, that can be really good if you just want to put up a picture to show your students. And Google Drive is really good just for sharing links with students, like links to documents or videos or audios. And the Giphy, I just find it adds a little bit of fun element into the classroom. For example, something like this on your PowerPoint, or even at the beginning of class or at the end of class, can just add a bit of fun. And finally, I would just like to point out, for example, these websites, SlideShare and ESOL Collective. They are very useful in that they have some pre-made grammar PowerPoints, which can be really useful for your online classes. Some of the English language textbooks have classroom presentation tools, like for example English File and Headway, and their audios and videos are also online, and they'd have some online workbooks as well. Educate was particularly useful for the Level 1 and Level 2 QQI materials. And don't forget your Zoom annotation tools, which can be very useful for correction. Finally, I would like to thank you for watching my presentation today. I hope that maybe you gained some benefit from it, and I would like to wish you all the best with your future classes.